welcome to the extra casino part of Kuni, as requested by Jova, since he really wanted to see the cryptic casino.
Past Jova,
Jova's a
but
gambler.
yeah. Well, I'll be honest, Roy. Every bet I've made against you guys, I pretty much have won, especially Dwibs. Thank you for that, Welsh.
Allow me to remind everybody that Hinos said in the... there you go, Dwibs. Dick Clinton died, and now he's the owner of the cryptic casino. Pit boss. Ha 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 ha. I see what you did there. Anyway, allow me to remind everybody, as we're going to see in the behind-the-scenes stuff we're going to do after this playthrough, Hino specifically said, and I quote, "We wanted to create a really good game for children, which is why we included gambling." Go ahead, Whips.
So I tell you about how machines work.
Remember this.
Excellent.
Go ahead.
Allow me to give you a class of the fundamentals. The basic idea is to line up symbols either horizontally or diagonally.
You do realize Oliver is a minor.
You wager a certain number of chips, and depending on the combination of symbols you get.
I don't think they care.
Tail. Hino says it's good for children, so it is good for children.
Well,
Every
then
symbol
again,
matches
Hino else.
the child's meter will fill. And when the child's meter is full, the machine will enter Mega Mode.
Mega
Mega
Man.
Evolution?
In Mega Mode, you need to win double the amounts each combination could normally beg you.
Bag you.
You can change the amounts you are betting on each spin at any point using left and right. It's up to you when you want to adjust your stake.
Remember, kids, gambling is good for you.
Or appearances during the game, and you'll be able to use them at more or less any point. Use L1 and R1 to select an item and press square to use it. Items have a range of effects, from slowing down time to boosting the chance meter. Just bear in mind that you can only have a maximum of 3 items at any one time. Separate each items you get, it will make space for more. It's hard to speak when I've got no throat. I should mention at this point that not all items have helpful effects. For example, there's one that speeds.
Even Walden's Review also did it. Even was a. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind minigames in my JRPGs. It's fine as a little side diversion, but that's exactly what I want it to be, a side diversion. I don't like it when I'm in the middle of a story and then suddenly the story gets interrupted because the game wants me to arbitrarily play a minigame.
To be fair, I mean, I like the Chocobo Racing minigame.
No. That's the Chocobo Racing is optional, Joe. Aside from that one,
mandatory.
alright, aside from that one scene. But,
Yeah.
okay, fine.
think
Personally, I like that
that's-
minigame, but yeah, that also counts as one, so I get, but,
I'd say, like, well, it depends
I
on
will
how...
say this, however, that game at least did a much better job in using the story to justify why we're doing it. The Tetramaster thing in Final Fantasy IX comes the fuck out of nowhere, has nothing to do with anything. Zidane is an expert in Tetramaster, and he wants to go into this tournament because, as we all know, we've seen him play a lot of cards, haven't we too?
Yeah. This is why I say...
Just as we saw him seduce women in the past.
Well, but that's implied at least. I'm pretty sure they never imply.
And so is implied that he's good at cards.
True, Tia does have a point there. I mean, they are technically both implied.
Okay, let me explain better. What I mean is that, yes, he's a womanizer, and we do get hints of it and mentions of that throughout the game. But when it comes to the card game stuff, it never gets brought up in any way, shape, or form until, at least not that I remember. Granted, I haven't played the game in a while, but I'm pretty sure it. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody.
Pedro. I think, Pedro, a better argument in that case would be, why is it done instead of Vivi? Because almost
I agree.
all the card stuff is related to him. He gets instructed by Gilgamesh about
Thank
the cards,
you.
and he specifically asks for a card at the Hunter's Prize. Is the Hunter's Prize at Lean Room. So
Okay.
you think he will be the one responsible
Okay,
for that?
okay. I just have to say, this is not like real life. The slot machine is way too fair, actually going either diagonally, horizontally, or vertically.
Don't you see, Jova? You have to spin it enough times to get a time artifact.
Also,
that ghost, also a cute little ghost on the top.
Casper, the friendly ghost. But yeah,
But
okay.
yeah, I get what you mean.
So, Mr. Hino, you think that gambling is good for kids, right?
Oh, also I guess it's a good thing because I forgot. Yeah, I talked about this in the original playthrough. It's might as well go about something that Pedro doesn't cover in this playthrough. Basically, there's a post game.
Actually, it's burped.
Oh,
Sorry.
Well,
whatever.
so, wait,
Oh,
I got
that's
it.
a
I got it,
bit
Pedro. Hino thinks gambling's good for kids. This explains. So is that why he's making the ultimate gamble of bringing on his good old friend into his organization?
Pedro, read.
It's
please.
reality, Pedro.
The sea sounds so beautiful.
Basically, audience, for those who don't know, the makers of Mighty Number 9 and Red Ash were originally going to go out of business. That's right, Concept was actually going to go out of business, which probably means that Red Ash was going to get canned. But now, it can live on, because Level 5 thought, let's let these people join us, because they have earned it.
Well, Jova, to be
Well,
fair,
okay, more so
my
15
number
of
9
them.
still belongs to Deep Silver, and Red Ash belongs to Fuse.
That's not going to stop Concept, though, from coming back.
No,
with Deep
I
Silver
mean,
now.
I mean in terms of it would still get made otherwise. Either way, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but now we have Yeah. Well, yeah, might be. But now we get to have Inafune come back for it, even though he was supposed to go under with Concept. Like,
I think what it means is that he's gonna make new IPs under level 5, not so much go back to his older ones.
well,
probably.
level 5 do tend to be lenient, and heck, considering how lenient Hino is with what his employees do, I wouldn't be
Well-
surprised if he signs on a deal that level 5 will help co-make a Mighty Number 9.
Go
Well,
ahead,
here's
Shiroi.
hoping that can actually give the man some freaking guidance.
Again,
He
Shiro,
knows
to-
a bit
to
too
rep-
nice for his own good.
Shiro-
Even
Shi-
Pedro
Shi-
admitted that.
Teo, why don't you use your marrying analogy? Because I think it's brilliant.
Deal?
Tears too broken.
Winning big on the slots is all about using one's item at the right time.
Anyway,
It's really lively here, I gotta say.
yeah,
Hey, there's actually someone who's alive! A witch!
everybody's having the time of their deaths.
Except for this woman, she's alive. Welcome to the blackjack
Feels
table.
good to be alive. Wait.
Well, she's
Go ahead,
alive.
Jova.
I'm going to take you through the basics of blackjack, so clean out your ears!
All right.
So clean out your ears!
I think I might have been pacing this for Shiroi back in the day.
Okay, then in that case, Shira, go on.
Oh. In blackjack, you compete with the other dealer to see. Anyway.
Oh, never mind.
Closest
You know
to
what?
21.
Go ahead.
No,
Go
no,
ahead, Jova.
I don't think it was paced for.
Face cards. That's jacks, queens, and kings. Are both worth 10, while aces can be either 1 or 11. The other cards are worth their face value. I love blackjack. I'm so good at it. Well, I'm lucky at it. At the start of the game, I will deal both 2 cards. I wonder if I should try going for Shiroi's voice. In the example above, your cards total 14, which is a long way from 21. At times like that, you should ask to be dealt another card. If you want another card, select hit and press X. Who else is good at blackjack here?
I don't really play card games, so.
But Shiroi, card games are serious business as taught to us by Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, you'd be surprised. There actually are.
Only if you're riding surfboards while doing it.
You'd be surprised. I mean, poker playing is actually.
Actually, they haven't done that.
You'd be surprised, guys. Poker playing is actually an official sport. Like, several actors like James Woods and Jennifer Tilly are professional poker players.
Also, I thought it was like water skis or something or whatever they were riding while playing that shit or whatever. I don't know.
A card game that's played while skiing?
No, in one Yu-Gi-Oh kind of thing. I can't remember what it was, but yeah.
I think you're thinking motorcycles.
Ah, okay. That's weird.
Well, come on. I mean, motorcycles now. Those make perfect sense. Ain't that right, Pedro?
Yeah.
But then, of course, then
Anyway.
there's dueling in space. So they thought, how do we make dueling on motorcycles seem sane? But yeah, seriously, what the heck is an alive person doing here? The real
I
pros just slam their chips down, you know? Don't
Well,
think
the thing is,
that-
Jova. Well, the thing is, Jova, they do also try to drag in live people that are alive to come. So I guess she's here to attract male clientele, I guess.
Male clientele. Oh, I see. Attract those who still got it flowing through their systems.
Anyway, everybody, yeah. If you don't know the rules of blackjack, feel free to pause the game from when I was reading. We
It's
were
simple.
reading.
Basically,
And
I'll
you need to be able to get a basic gist of it. The game does a really good job in explaining how blackjack works.
Basically, to sum it up, the idea is to try and get as close as you can to 21 without going over. Face cards, of course,
Yes.
equal 10.
I
Basically,
bet that
whenever
too.
you want a card, then you ask hit.
In case you're wondering, Jova, yes, I'm actually, well, I don't pride myself good at blackjack, but I know my stuff.
Ooh, bust.
Also, in case you're wondering about her human, she has a mini skirt. What do you think?
Yeah, I know. Pedro said she's here to attract male clientele. He didn't
I
even
used
specify
to-
whether they're dead or alive either. Just male clientele.
Minor
Well, she-
correction, I used to play a lot of card games, but I forgot.
Okay,
Well,
okay,
she-
okay. You should
Well, she
stand
has
here.
a cute smile.
You should stand here. There's no way you can lose.
Blackjack is just one. My country is actually famous, along with France, for having a fuck ton of card games, and I'm actually quite good in a lot of them.
Yeah, there you go.
What's
That
your-
smile. That smile's really cute.
Yeah, she is cute. Is Vanessa also a brunette?
Yeah, she is actually.
Ah, okay. Brown hair.
Random question.
Well, the witch also has brown hair. If there's one thing I learned in human psychology is that everyone has their innate little quirks of who they find cute. Sometimes it can range so far as to hair color.
And not for me. What really made me realize I was in love was when she whooped my ass in
Smash?
Dark Souls.
Oh, really?
Dark
wait. So that's what got you to marry her.
Yeah.
How romantic.
Dark Souls got you.
Teo. I was able to platinum the fucking game thanks to her. Do you think I was gonna let her get away?
I'm not gonna dispute that.
That's great.
Best origin for a marriage story I've ever heard. Well, okay. To be fair, my mom and dad bonded over amusement parks. In fact, my mom actually rode a roller coaster when she was pregnant with me.
Well, for me, it was bonding over really weird fan animations.
Okay, Tio, got anything to top that?
I'd rather not talk about
Video
it.
games, amusement
Okay.
parks, and fan art.
Moving on. You
Whoa.
got your wires crossed. Basically, this is
It's the same of the
This-
second trial.
yeah, the same as the second trial.
Oh. You know, where did the dead get these costumes for their employees?
All right, let's try it.
What kind of gambling is this?
These are
Gambling with your
always-
life?
Again, these require a lot of eye-to-eye coordination, so
Yeah.
you
You
got
got-
your wires crossed.
Well,
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Well, that's one way to gamble with your life. How are we alive?
Because minigame.
There's a giant trampoline at the bottom of the abyss that
It reminds me. It reminds me of Roger Vanderwaite's parody of Super Mario 64 DS. You know, the one that has mini games and shit.
Oh, he did a parody of
where-
Super
where-
Mario.
He did, and I love one particular scene where they're all going, "We must find the princess because she's all alone and stuff," and blah blah. And then Toadsworth is there. Hello, kids. What's happening? The poor princess is imprisoned by Bowser. The poor girl, indeed. The poor princess, all alone. Oh well. Want to play some minigames?
I'm
Hell yeah!
Basically, Dribs, we were going over the origins of love for each of us. Pedro apparently married Vanessa thanks to video games. Shiroi
I thought we were
bonded.
done with this conversation.
Yeah, moving.
One
yeah,
filling
come on,
Dribs
that's-
in on what he
that's off
missed.
Topic.
Dave, you need to know.
Charles, I can listen to the audio anyway. Even besides, it's not like I would have much to contribute to the love thing anyway. So
Basically, Dweebs, what you need to know.
But they're still young. Don't worry about that. Go
Dweebs,
ahead.
a thing that Pedro doesn't show in his playthrough is post-game quest about basically fighting palette swaps of previously fought bosses. And it all culminates into fighting the so-called Guardian of War, which is like a steed, a god steed, with horns and everything. And the quest giver to those is apparently someone dressed in the same outfit as Layton, but with a bunny face.
Who the fuck
Yeah.
the dead would have such fabulous spells? Oh, look. Wow,
Leighton
there.
Rabbits confirmed.
Oh, yeah, by
If
the
you
way,
remember-
Dribs.
If you try to remember, it was present in one of the illustrations of Wizard Companion, but I don't blame you if you don't remember.
Welcome to the Platoon table.
Oh,
What was you gonna say, David?
Basically, Dribs, there's quite a few humans here at this ever lively casino.
Actually, this one looks too pale to be alive, honestly.
No, she's probably a
Actually,
vampire.
Pedro, the vampire analogy with Jova
Yeah,
did was actually more fitting.
In Platoon,
Maybe she's
you've dealt a
maybe she's
total
an-
of 10 gods from which you
Maybe she's
bond.
an undead zombie from Indigo Prophecy.
Vampire, let's just go with vampire since she's not missing any flesh. Regular
Anyway.
cards are from the 2 to the queen. These are called pawns. The cards from 2 to 9 are worth their face value, while the 10, jack, and queen are each worth 10.
Well, Joker is the wizard.
Special cards, meanwhile, come in 3 varieties: kings, bishops.
Pawns.
The important thing to say about kings is that if you have one in your unit, you will always win, regardless of the unit's total value. But if there are 2 units facing each other, both of which contain a king, the unit with the highest total value of the regular cards will win. The bishop has the opposite effect, and any unit that contains one will lose.
So fuck the bishop.
However, there is one exception to this rule. When the opposing unit contains a king, a unit containing a bishop will win.
Which means that the fucking bishop is basically a big leap of faith.
So basically, the bishop is the equivalent to 0 cards in Chain of Memories.
Yeah, I was about actually to mention that.
Oh, that's the thing, though. Like, and I will demonstrate that in my playthrough. Like, people who practice and know the game, like I have.
Oh,
come
it's
to know-
incredibly easy to pork that game.
Trust me. Those 0 cards can be your savior a lot of times.
Yeah, that's actually what makes the hook boss fights a real bitch if you're not careful.
I
Oh,
think that card system is a bit askew at times.
it really
It-
depends.
it's one of
Okay,
those things,
let me put it
Shiroi,
like this,
where,
Shiroi. Okay, let me put it like this,
it
Shiroi.
had-
Go ahead.
Are you good at stacking your decks well? Because trust me, if you can stack your decks well, that's good. The thing is that you also have to take into account slates. Trust me, you will need slates if you want to survive. Slates will be your breathing life. Like
Well,
seriously.
I heard it's like a good idea, but they made some missteps along the way with how certain cards work with each other.
The thing
Or
is, like, well, in
together,
order to group them
or-
together as well, you have to make sure to time your button prompts right in some cases as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that can sort of be an issue, seeing as how, outside of that, you're playing a typical Kingdom Hearts game. So focusing on all
Because
that can
I-
be a bit of an issue. Also, you want to set up them in the right one so you can get certain combinations. Because sometimes in order to actually make a certain magical effect, in order of just one card, sometimes you need 3 cards to generate the effect of a card and whatnot. Basically, it depends on how much you're willing to actually sit down and dedicate time to setting up your strategies well beforehand in advance, as opposed to, you know, the regular just hit,
It's a much
dodge
more-
from Kingdom Hearts.
It's a much more strategic take on the Kingdom Hearts formula, basically.
And
well,
it's-
I for the record, I never played Chain of Memories. I just watched the cutscenes for the PS.
Yeah, the PS2
2
remake. Yeah.
It's kind of a shame because, again, Chain of Memories is definitely a game that I would recommend you play full through. And yeah, kind of a detriment to the PS4 movies. Yeah, there's cutscenes there, but some of them leave out some...
Actually, Chain of Memories game was remastered. It's not a movie.
Well, yeah, I know
The
that.
movies are only for the DS games.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have played it. Like I wouldn't have played a game like that on the game anyway.
Chain of Memories
we
is-
have
which-
the remaster now. Which
Yeah,
is...
the PS2 remake of Chain of Memories is there, fully present and remastered into HD in both PS3 and PS4 compilations.
Unfortunately, we couldn't fix the lip sync, but well,
That said,
what
we will
do?
be doing both versions since the Game Boy version is
Yeah.
different enough.
Oh, fun fact, by the way, is since while we're in the topic of it, recently Square patched the PS4 collection to include 2 new
Ooh, what are they?
theater mode. For the first time, Kingdom Hearts 1 has a theater mode. So that's
Meaning
pretty
you
cool.
can, well, I can finally rewatch cutscenes without having to replay the game.
Yes. And technically it's free DLC, not patch, but whatever. Just go there, it's free, whatever. And another thing is they added an extra cutscene to the Days movie. You know how in the basically this time we get to see a battle sequence between Roxas and the final person he fights. I won't say who because of spoilers.
I gotta say though, 358 over 2 days kinda suffered from being into a movie. Like,
Not
okay,
just that, it's probably, honestly, to me, still feels like the weakest of all the games, and it shows because it was like you can tell it was like a mandate.
Isn't that the
probably-
reason they got rid of the gameplay and just put it as a movie?
well, no,
It's
no, no, no,
more-
no, no,
People
no,
didn't
no.
care.
Sure, sure,
The
sure.
Yeah,
sure.
more-
gameplay
The gameplay isn't
is-
really
it's
the
very
issue.
Well,
small.
let Tio finish.
Yeah, the gameplay itself is not that bad. It has a very small variant in your leveling up system, but otherwise it's still your usual jam. The problem is that the story.
Okay, have you played
Just
358
say-
over 2
is
days,
a bit-
Joy?
I just say that inconsequential is the key term here, and yet all the next games try to remind us desperately that exists.
Also,
Yeah.
Jova, to answer your question, yes, I did.
Oh, so
But not just that, but this, you know what's the interesting part about that? Like, while I do agree with what Theo just said, I'll still take the store. I'll still.
oh boy,
well, at least
you're in a trap
take that
there,
story.
Pedro. Card-wise.
No. Don't worry. What I'm saying is that, like,
I was talking about the card game
I just said
going
I agree
on.
with Theo.
I was referring to the
the-
actual card game here.
Oh, that. What I was. Don't worry, Jova. I can do it. This anyway. What I was saying was, yeah, I agree with what Theo just said, but I'll still. We're gonna have to agree on disagree on that because honestly, I'll still take Days over the record because record that was the one that to me felt the most pointless in general. But yeah, I understand that. But the thing.
The thing is, I haven't played it. I only watched the cutscene, and I agree with you. For the second, the first half to me actually felt actually interesting to me. It's just it drops everything once the second half starts to me.
Sure, my problem with it was that the whole data thing, like the whole virtual Sora thing, honestly, that felt completely, even by Kingdom Hearts standards, that just felt completely
You
out
don't
of
just see
nowhere.
Pedro.
Hey,
You don't see what is real and
Hey,
what is
can I
not.
talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
what? Hey, can I talk about what
Hold on,
bugged me
just
the
one more
most
thing,
of
though. Let me just-
Recoded?
Hold on, let me just say one more thing, though. I will say, however, that despite that, I will agree with Jova, especially on Recoded, because Recoded actually had some really good gameplay. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
Recoded has the best gameplay variety in the entire series. To give you an idea, Teo, in the Olympus Coliseum, they actually paid tribute to old Final Fantasy games by including a classic turn-based
Yeah,
Final Fantasy
okay.
battle system.
I remember seeing some promotional videos of that.
Yeah, and for example, in Wonderland, we have a tribute to Space Harrier of all things.
Basically, Recoded
So
is the
I
prime.
really enjoyed that variety of it all. It was refreshing to me.
Yeah, Recoded is the prime example of what happens when you make what was clearly more gameplay focused. Because let's be quite honest, Recoded was made for gameplay than story. Even though
Well,
that
Joe,
was.
the original was made for mobile phones, and keep in mind, Japanese mobile phones are back in the day before.
I can only
Android and
imagine
iOS,
how that must have gone, considering how the gameplay goes. And oh, screw the camera.
You'd be surprised, Jova, because I surprisingly enough, I actually played some of very old mobile phones games back when I had.
So how on earth could the Riku boss fight in that
I
game
agree. I
have
actually
worked?
played Sonic Unleashed Mobile for a bit. It was
I didn't know
terrible.
that existed until Johnny's video.
No, I mean
Tr-
some
it's
are.
t-
Some are really
I
terrible.
did. Well, I haven't
But
played it, but I knew it
surprisingly,
existed
some of them
before.
were actually fun to play.
Yeah, I
Like Prince of
remember.
Persia, the Two Thrones.
I remember games on flip phones. Those were all the
Oh, by the
rage.
way, might as well talk about this. My experience with the casino. I had to be shameful in the sense that since it was in the end game, I had already burned out through getting all the rest of the trophies. I basically sold my entire inventory, bought all the chips, and got all the prizes. And that's where I just ended the game because I even got the platinum because of it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I understand
yes.
that. No, that's okay. What I mean, what I was gonna say was basically Shiroi. The reason is because that game, Sonic Unleashed Mobile, is borderline unplayable because the UI is like there's 50% UI and 50% actual game.
Remember,
Like-
remember. This is back in the day of flip phone mobile games, and you know how the screens on flip phones are.
Were
right?
small as shit, so they had to make the UI huge as fuck.
Oh,
It was amazing.
I
All right,
didn't
so what
really
I'm
have
doing.
I didn't really have mobile games on phones back then. So.
By the way, is you still there? Just checking.
Yeah.
But
Basically, what
yeah.
I'm doing right now is I'm trying to show off getting stuff so I can buy it. Basically, what you can buy with your chest when you eventually get to a certain point is you can buy tickets that will allow you to unlock a theater mode for the game. And guess what? There's actually exclusive scenes that can only be seen in the theater mode. However, it's RIPs only. Get it? RIPs. Huh?
Very important people, and not you, capiche.
Rest in pepperoni.
By RIPs, you have to get really, really fucking good at all of this shit. Go ahead, Dibs.
Alright, fine, I hope my supervisor helped you, good luck.
So,
But it's okay because jump cut to my completed save file.
So okay.
90 hours.
All right. So before we go to the theater,
That's how long it took me to. There you go.
so before we go to the theater, then we're talking about Recoded. Can I talk about how I was so confused as all fudge about the whole guys? I think that Keyblade is a real Keyblade. Yeah. What the hell? Just seriously, what the hell? You have enough
I'm not-
Keyblades.
I'm not. I like Kingdom Hearts, and even I won't stand for that story. That story to me is just. Ugh.
It's gonna be fun to pick apart, but okay. Screw the camera in that game. I hate the camera in that game. Seriously though, if there were a cameraman who was shooting that, I'd have him shot dead for being drunk.
Yeah. All right, everybody, welcome to. That's right. There we go. We literally have a theater room where we can watch the cutscenes, and pay attention to this because there's going to be a cutscene that like.
They sure do get the most attractive of employees,
You still there,
I gotta
Sherry?
say.
Yes.
Okay.
I gotta say, they don't slouch in finding the most attractive of employees.
I think Jova.
By the way, Joe, for the sake of Shiri being able to hear the scene, we're going to have to do that cutscene. Basically, I'll be Smiley and you'll be Surly.
Keen.
Drippy, you can see it.
All right. So here's the thing. There's actually a deleted animated Ghibli scene that was present in the DS version, but was cut from the PS3 version because they didn't need to, because they had the power to make the full in-game cutscene look as beautiful as it needed to. But so there you go. Here's the previously DS cutscene, but they still kept it here in the theater room for those who wanted to see it, and they still dubbed it despite not appearing in the game.
Oh, you showed me. This is the first scene from.
My guess is that they originally dubbed it, but then later in post-production found they could just recreate it with
No,
3D
actually,
models.
too, it's because even in the Japanese version, this scene is there. They had to dub it because it's there, so obviously they have to dub it.
Wait, hold on. So this actually shows up in the original Japanese version?
In the DS version, yes. Because, remember, DS graphics, obviously you can't do a glorious shot, a beautiful world with the DS graphics, so they had to use an animated scene. But for PS3 graphics, there's no need. So this cutscene wasn't needed anymore.
It's a shame, though. I really like this one. I mean, they could have, have had, like, that opening intro like they did at the start, and then just have this be for when they first come in.
Yeah, I can see that, but honestly, to me, the whole FMV thing is kind of a limitation of the past. There's no need now that cutscenes now can look equally like.
Oh, but I like the Studio Ghibli cutscene animations.
Oh, I do, but it's not exactly a necessity at this point.
Okay.
All right. Let me say. Okay, basically, what this is guess what? After Richard and his team translated the comedy duo, Hino and his team did something cool. They translated the translation back into Japanese, and this is what we're going to see now.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy, here we go.
This is a little in joke that they put in.
You'll be smiling, I'll be surly.
Yeah.
So they decided to go the Google Translate route.
So yeah, basically this is what it is. Imagine taking the original Japanese, the original English stuff and translating it. For yourself, whatever that is. Go ahead, Jova.
Hello?
Yeah. You're the blue one.
Oh, right.
The blue subtitles.
Okay, got it. I think I heard that too!
Speaking of dream, I had a dream.
It is sudden.
My dream is become the boss of weapons shops in the future.
If you have a dream of that without such a long time, but I think it's a good dream.
Really? In that case, please practice with me.
Practice?
Since I play the boss of weapons shops, would you play the part of the warrior strider who took it because it's...
Is that just asking too much? That part is too complicated. Why does the water strider look on the dark side of life? I can't understand. What do I play the part? No, impossible! I like me better as it is.
Oh.
What? Water strider is
Yes, they
very
reanimated
difficult.
the models to fit for the dialogue. Water strider is more...
More slender. In this ball form and bad. I play a part of customer. I go to the arm shop. You play a lot of patrol people, okay? Are you ready? Okay, knock, excuse me, ka-chuck.
Knock, ka-chuck.
Where is the store structure? Why is the story only one door?
This is literally Google Translate.
No, you play the arm shopkeeper.
Yeah, it is.
Knock, chuck, excuse me. Please show me a variety of weapon. Complicated and misleading. No.
I am playing customers.
No, you play arm shopkeeper. You see, I play arm shopkeeper.
Yes, I am playing.
But you play customer.
Sorry. Yes. I see.
This is like
I
the
play on
grouping.
shopkeeper. Okay.
You play arm
This is going
shopkeeper,
so
okay?
fast, it's hard to read.
Please show me a weapon.
Japanese people talk really fast.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I can keep up.
I
I want
want
these
easy
to
to
operate,
operate
or...
those strong
Hey, I
weapons.
thought I was the blue one.
Go ahead.
Well, let me just say this. Trust me, Shiroi. Watch this video later on your own and pause for every subtitle, because trust me, this is hilarious.
Damn it! What do you mean, why part-time boss?
What's wrong? I play weapon shop plus part-time.
No, not part-time weapons shop boss. You are a weapon shop boss.
What?
You said.
Sorry.
Are you crazy?
No, I am weapon shop
Yes,
boss.
weapon shop boss. Okay. knock, Kentucky, excuse
Weapon
me.
shop.
Boisterous. Okay, I give up.
Thanks, everyone. See, we need no translator.
Well,
Apparently you do, Apparently you do.
so what do you think of that epic translation, Dwivs?
That was one of the most ropiest translations I've ever seen.
Works in mysterious ways.
Yes,
But those
he
you see,
does.
webs that Hino arrived at the conclusion at the end. See, we no need translator.
Sure you do.
Okay.
Skeptical.
Okay. Now,
Eteo, another precursor to what we would see in Yokai Watch.
hey Pedro, can you imagine? Now imagine all of Hideo Kojima's projects without a translator. Wouldn't that
Well, actually,
script be
Kojima
ever...
can speak English, so it would be fine. He has a Japanese accent, obviously, but he can speak English. In fact, he directs the English chapters himself.
And we're looking
Yeah,
at this again.
now comparison, I'm showing the actual in-game scene.
Who does?
Kojima.
Oh.
He directs the English actors himself, aside
I
from the
was looking
Japanese
on the
ones.
credits. The voice director's a different guy.
Oh, is it?
Oh.
Well, I know he directed in the later ones, like he directed Keith Sutherland. We even see in the behind-the-scenes footage. Maybe he stopped. Maybe he started doing only 2 or 3 or whatever. The point is, yeah, this is the in-game version of the scene that got replaced in the PS3 version.
Yeah.
I mean,
But like I was saying, I understand, Joe, but at the same time, the whole FMV thing, it's much better if you do a seamless, like a more seamless experience if you don't jump between graphic styles.
oh, I see. So like a Face Attorney 6.
Yeah, basically, like Kuni 2, there's not going to be any animated cutscenes, but as a trade-off, not only will the transitions between cutscenes
we
and
kind
gameplay
of
be
know
more
the
smooth.
reason why there's not going to be any animated cutscenes.
Well, yeah. But like I said, the trade-off for that is that that way you can make the transitions smooth between gameplay and cutscenes, and there's no jump between visual fidelity, so it makes the whole experience more smooth, more seamless. I think, at least.
True.
The whole FMV, the video game consoles have gotten to a point where they can easily render cutscenes and express emotion as much as they want. There's no need for FMVs at this point.
I mean, some FMVs are good, like the 2D animated ones occasionally, if people like that. But yeah, when it comes to seamless stuff, I definitely see your point. So, tune in next time, folks. We've got ourselves a finale coming up.
Just real quick before we go, though, that's one of the main reasons why Miracle Masks tried taking advantage of the 3DS's capabilities, but eventually they realized, okay, maybe we should wait until a more powerful handheld pops up, and Last No Legacy didn't do that so much.
Yeah, and Lady Layton neither. But hey. The 2D animated cutscenes?
Well, we haven't
still
seen Lady
awesome.
Layton yet. For all we know, maybe they're trying again.
Well, remember, Pedro, we see that there are 2D animated cutscenes.
Anyway, we're drawing this part out. See you everybody
Yeah.
for the finale.
See ya.